Okay, and now we are streaming.
Good
Ta-da!
morning, Vietnam.
We are streaming. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're now instead of streaming to Twitch, which just seemed like an unnecessary extra step because we want it to be on YouTube anyway. We are now streaming straight to YouTube. It is May 28th. It is just after Memorial Day. We all wish the holiday weekend was longer, but it isn't, so we're just going to play instead. All right, so welcome everyone. Welcome to all the players, and welcome to our brand new YouTube audience. Live YouTube audience. I don't know if anyone will pop in, but you can say hi in the chat, and I might actually even see it. Couldn't do that on Twitch very well. All right, so I am going to begin first and foremost by rolling a whole crap ton of dice. Here it comes.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, so once the anti-mag field goes down, I know at least for me, it'll take me a while to get fully revved up power-wise. You know, my boosts and stuff activated.
But if they're activated and the thing goes back up, do they go back down?
Yes.
Got it. So your play is, rather than go mano a mano, you want to drop the field and do that? Like drop the field for good?
Not for good, until we're in a situation that we need to pull back up.
Okay, so just to touch base again real quick, for you players and for anyone else who's terribly interested, for mass ship-to-ship combat, which you can now see on your screen, we're using mobs so that there isn't just a whole bunch of time wasted resolving actions between all of the pirates that are going to be attacking each other from one ship to another. For the sake of simplicity, these ships are the same ship because they're both warships with, D&D stats. However, the bottom ship, because they like to be on the bottom, is the drow ship, which is where all of our player characters are located. And so they are all there. Now, these ships are much bigger, right, than they showed up on the other smaller map. And there are a few individuals, but let me highlight some of what there is out there. So I'm going to zoom in on these guys. So there are, on the enemy ships, there are 2 Berserker mobs. These guys are nasty looking pirates. They are the badass pirates. So they are probably going to be a tough haul. The cultists are the actual sailors. We're using the cultist model here, but I've got some custom art for those guys as well. So these guys, and thank you, ChatGPT, and sorry if GPT stole any of your copyrighted artwork. It wasn't my fault. I just simply asked it to generate some images. So we've got that, and then we've got the ultimate bad guy here. This is Gallus Windrage, and so she is out for blood, or maybe she just means to do some particular mischief. It's her motivations are not yet revealed. Meanwhile, on the drow ship, this is icing death, and so on the front here you can't see because you have to use your imagination. On the bow of the ship is a drow carved in, a large drow bearing 2 swords, which would be in the image, a personage, if you will, of Dritz Do'Urden on the front of this ship with his 2 scimitars drawn. Those scimitars are called Icing Death and Twinkle, just like these 2 ships that they've been sailing back from Neverwinter toward Leylon. Also, so this is a mob of drow sailors, and so we've got that. We've got also a large statue that is on the deck of the ship. I probably ought to change that to be a nice guy, because he actually is. And so we're going to change that to not hostile, but friendly. Okay. So that way his color turns out a little better, not red. Okay. But these other guys, oh, they're all wrong too. But anyway, it doesn't matter. They're not going to pick on you. So these guys are drow. But then down here, there's this little crew of drow. And these are Icing Death's officers. The chief cook, chief surgeon, exo, and bosun. So these guys are officers of the ship. You guys have been talking with them too. They have all been, until now, kind of dressed as merchants. But they indeed are just badass looking pirates, just like the captain. And here's the captain over here. So here's this guy. Now this guy happens to be a wizard. So he is good to go for casting spells if the anti-magic field were to go down. Meanwhile, the rest of you are kind of on the ship where you were hanging out. Again, this ship had 6 ballista, and so 3 on this side where Canas and where Zamara were, and then 3 on the opposite side of the ship, and then there was a ballista in front. This is a mangonel, but it's actually supposed to be a ballista, and on the back, a ballista on this ship. The other ship does have a mangonel, and 1 ballista on each side, and then a mangonel on the back as well. So that ship is pretty accurate. All right, so the only other real big differences strategically are that the drow ship has sunshades deployed that are protecting almost all of the deck of the ship, putting it in dim light. Even though it's a bright sunny day outside, those ribbons of cloth have expanded or been expanded to provide heavy canvas sunshade. So the drow function particularly well in not sunlight. Good. Any other questions before we begin?
Not that I can think of.
Sweet. All right.
I do have one.
Oh, of course.
Let's say we wanted some of the drow to man the mangonels.
They are no good. Oh, you mean the mangonels on the other ship?
Or no, the ballista on our ship. Sorry.
Yeah, but they're not good with this close.
Worth asking about.
Yep.
Who is controlling the mobs on our side?
I am.
Oh, so you're
So now that we're going back down, so just so our audience knows, because the mass quantities of people out there want to know, I've heard them ask, and the chat's full of questions. Just can't get to them all. I'm sorry. Kidding. The ship-to-ship combat was done on a different map that we started with. You saw there. And I let the players control all the ally ships while I controlled the enemy ships, while we did some little ship-to-ship. But now we're doing boarding parties, so control is zooming back to your own characters, and I will control all the NPCs. All right, good. Any other questions? That was good. That was actually a pretty good question.
Okay, and right now there's nothing magical about us.
You are still within an anti-magic field.
Okay.
Hey,
the other ship that has the
magical good looks.
What's that?
We have magically good looks.
No. Whatever magical makeup you had on is smeared.
It's turned off.
And
Who needs makeup when you're just this charming? Wink.
Well, I guess before
another glimmer off your teeth, right?
That's why I asked about Sparky, because Sparky naturally breathes fire because that's who he is. So it's not really, there's nothing magical there about him. Is he on deck or is he below?
I reckon you can put him wherever. Do you want to put him on the deck? Or would you like him to come up later when you call him?
Get hot and heavy, and he can just, No, you know what? Put him right here next to me. Right there, like. Yeah.
Okay.
And can I have Anea?
You can.
Now, is Anea magical?
in the sense that every familiar is, but I mean, she should be fine long since I just can't resummon her mid battle or anything, so that's fine.
That's also a good question. Does your telepathic connection to your familiar survive an anti-magic field?
Yeah, because Sparky's an actual being.
Yeah, he's a doggy.
Yeah, he's actual being. So there's nothing
That
magical.
depends. Jim, would you say telepathy is in this scenario, since the natural trait is more psionic, or
I would say,
or just mystical?
I would say that in the case of a pseudo dragon, it could be psionic because that is the nature of a pseudo dragon. However, a dragon, pseudo or not, is a magical creature. So it seems like that some abilities might be suppressed in an anti-magic field. Like if you were to face a big dragon and you cast anti-magic field, how much of the dragon would be able to function?
With the fire breath and
you think the
actual wing
fire
attacks?
breath? Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Yeah, I tend to agree. But couldn't cast spells, couldn't do shape-shifting or anything like that.
You
Okay.
guys should fund this.
What about my healing? What about the healing bonus I get from an AI? That is
I think that's
feature bonus
magical.
or pact.
Yeah, that's magical. Yeah. So anything that's native to the creature itself works.
Yeah.
So I'll say that about Owly as well. Owly maybe can understand hand signals and whistles, but I think you're going to lose your ability to see through their eyes. You know, all familiars, you won't be able to see through their eyes.
Yeah.
And stuff like that if you were to dare in this situation. But also you cannot speak telepathically with them.
And
Okay.
that includes the Nea.
Yeah.
That
I think across the board familiars that makes sense. Okay.
But like if I gave her a hand signal to like fly over there, she
Like
would
you
do
pointed,
roughly
yeah,
that.
yeah. But I'm going to control your familiar because
That's
you
fine.
can't just have telepathic control over it. So I will do a best interpretation of what you're trying to get your familiar to do. And if your familiar conks out, you won't be able to summon them back again. I mean, obviously can't cast a spell. So
Yep.
And you can't put your familiar away. I would think that'd be an act of magic too, to push it into the pocket dimension it's from. Its little storage dimension. So you can't push it away either. You can tell it to go up to the crow's nest and hang out and stay safe. But if you send it into danger and the danger takes care of it, then it'll be gone, and obviously you can't resummon. Not that you could anyway in the middle of the fight, but okay. All right, are we good?
Mm-hmm.
Are we ready to go back to rounds? I'm going to turn on my
So-
camera. I forgot to do that.
Importantly,
Yeah.
this was not settled before we got on camera. Can
Yeah.
we reliably have Twinkle manipulate the anti-magic crystal or not? That's a very important.
And do is on this ship, you can try to coordinate that, but they're going to shoot fireworks up in the air to signal the other ship to turn off or on the anti-magic field.
And would it be able to be like sophisticated enough, like pull it down for one turn and then put it back up? Or would it just be turn it on and turn it off? That's all we could communicate at this distance.
You can pretty much do the turn on and turn off, right? Now you could use the message spell,
But that would be an action.
if the field is off, right?
Yeah.
So that you could give a much more complicated order, like, hey, how about you guys turn it back on for this long and then turn it back off again, right? That kind of thing, or whatever. Or
Yeah.
just turn it on to cancel everyone's stuff and then turn it back off again, and then we'll fire our stuff back up again.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? So that's an option. Should you
Zip is
choose
gonna
to
be
do so.
Zip is going to be very useless in this fight. But okay.
All right. So we have a turn order, and Zith happens to be at the top.
Yeah. And the anti-magic field is currently on. Is that true?
Correct. It is.
Okay. I am going to move, but hold my... If they don't do it, I blow the spell, huh? What if it comes from the staff? Like, if I do something from the staff that's a held action and the trigger doesn't happen, would I lose the charges on the staff? Is it the same as a spell slot?
I'm sorry. Say that again?
So if it was a spell slot and I held up my action and the trigger didn't happen, I would lose on the spell slot, right?
Correct. That's
okay.
how that works. Yeah, absolutely.
And if I'm using my staff and its charges as the resource versus spell slots, would the same thing happen?
Yes, because you're basically casting the spell and holding the trigger on the spell.
Yeah. Wow. This is going to be
That
tough.
allows you to make that a reaction.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This is gonna be super boring. No magic. Yeah, man. It's if we drop it, our friend gets a shot at us. Okay. I'm going to. Zith will run over here.
You gotta take the stairs.
Is that difficult terrain? Or?
No, you just make sure you path your that.
Oh yeah. Yep, it's about.
So you can drag, and then I believe it's the space bar, and then drag some more, and then space bar. It creates waypoints.
Oh, that's about 30 feet. Hiding is not going to matter at this point. Okay, is there anything to hide behind outside of these mobs? Is there anything on deck that I could try and hide behind?
There's a big statue. There's a staircase.
But that's it, though, right? That's about it. I
Could go into a cabin.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna pop over here with the rest of my movement. Oops. Okay. And can't do that yet until it's reliable. Okay, I'm just gonna pop a shot at these guys here. Targeting is on. A 19 for 7. No sneak attack, and as boring as that is my turn. It was this mob. I don't know if you caught it. I mean, it's targeted. So
yeah, it didn't do the cool stuff, but okay. All right, so
Canas.
Gallus.
Let's see what you got, girl.
She calls out.
She has no magic either, right?
No.
She calls out, "No survivors, boys, except the captains. Except the captains." And she's gonna run over. Why isn't drag ruler working? That's kind of a bummer. All right. So yeah, what you were trying to do isn't even working. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
You better hide.
55. Well, 60. All right. So she stands back and is waiting. All right. So that's going to end Gallus' turn. Canas, what do you got planned?
Okay. Well, I had a plan, but she moved away, so that's out of the bag. I think I think I'm gonna take out my crossbow. I rarely use. But one second, let me target Shift T. Unfortunately, most of my magical stuff are off the table at the minute. Actions. Touched. Come on, where are you? I'm sorry, I can't seem to find my crossbow.
Ah, crossbow.
But yeah, I always have them. Just almost never use it.
Crossbow. It's
That's
not
where I
in
can't
your
find it.
weapons anymore. Yeah.
I'm looking at my other D&D Beyond sheet. I have one.
Okay. Well, tell you what. Let me drag a crossbow on there. It's a light crossbow.
Yeah, I think so. Yes. You know, the simple old battered.
Crossbow light. There you go. All right, you have a crossbow. Knock yourself out.
Yay.
All right, so you're trying to shoot Gallus Windrage?
Yes. I would. I can't do it from there. I would move over a little bit.
Well, the deck's in the way. So this is an upper level deck right here. So that's in the way. And mobs are in the way. She's positioned herself where she's going to be harder to hit. So go ahead. You can search and see what you got. You rolled.
I have no idea.
It didn't even
I
roll.
can't see that.
That's lame. All right, hold on. Let's see if I can find the correct crossbow.
Yeah. After we went shopping, a lot of stuff disappeared from my inventory. Thought I got it all back, but forgot that.
So this doesn't have anything in it that looks like... Oh, that's lame. Doesn't have anything in it that looks correct. Like what it's supposed to do. Let's see what this says. That doesn't have any... These are just descriptions. Not even helpful. All right, hold on a second. Let's see. I'll bet if I go to the player's handbook. And I go to weapons. All right, well, let's move to the next person. Oh, that's me too. Never mind. All right. Bet I can do this. Is Omni search working? Nothing's working. Okay.
Can we just roll manually?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep. Or you can roll from your D&D Beyond sheet if you have that open.
I do. Okay. Are you guys seeing that? It's a 21.
I am not seeing that.
Okay. Well, I got 16 with a plus
But-
5.
Okay. So, her AC is pretty high. Look here. That misses. All right. Sorry, man. You missed with your crossbow. Anything else?
I'm going to store my crossbow.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Go back to a pure form of fighting.
Indeed. All right. So then you're done with your turn. I'll go ahead and advance. All right. So these drow, they are preparing. The other ship is coming upon them. They're both moving. And so these guys are kind of hiding they're crouched down underneath the railing of that deck, the side of the ship, and they're kind of sitting there. They have their scimitars out, and they're just kind of lined up, waiting for the boarding party to come across, or for them to spring out and do something. But they're just kind of hanging out, waiting. So they're going to hold their action for anyone that comes onto the ship. And since these guys have the drop on the other guys, the Berserkers, they are going to actually make that first leap. So they're going to go 20 feet to the edge. Oh, I'm still... All right. So they're going to move 20 feet to the edge, and then they are going to leap across and land. They just start coming across, just jumping over, and then from here they've moved a total of that's 30 feet. So we're going to roll the first crazy little attack of 10 scimitar attacks. And they're going to target the drow. Because those guys will begin to engage with them right next to Ozus. All right, so they connect and hit with the drow. And they're going to do... What just happened? Oh, I know what just happened. That was not a multiple drow. I forgot to multiply that guy. All right. So they're going to take out probably one of the drow worth of hit points, but they didn't kill that mob of drow. I'm going to fix that in just a minute. All right. So these guys are next. Okay. I prepped these, but they didn't seem to stick. So let's see. Maybe because I prepped it on the sheet, but I didn't connect the token to the sheet. Where are the drow?
It's the question we're all asking, Jim. Where the flip are the drow?
Right. Just like those guys, man. There they are.
Where are you?
Right? Okay, so these guys are...
Pirates to kill.
All right, so it'll take me a minute to get up to speed here. Obviously, sorry. So these drow, I'm going to... I thought I had all these prepped. I guess I prepped the others, but not these. All right, so under details, wish I could show you what I did here, but so it's 10, so it's plus 9 to hit, and then damage is plus 46 plus a D3 plus 9. All right. All right, the good news is once I type it in the first time, it's pretty easy to keep track of after that. Okay, so here comes that action, sorry for the delay.
That's a hit. Let's go.
Go, Drow.
All right.
So it's going to do 29 points of damage. These guys are going to move up here and take on those guys. And so that's going to do 29. So basically they kill a couple of the cultists. They just drop them instantly. So that group is now down to 7 cultists. All right. So Ozus, what are you going to do? These cultists are here right next to you. Whoops. Let's get rid of you guys on this map.
Yeah.
That was confusing.
That.
Yep.
Well, I'm
Nice.
still with the ballast, so I'm going to hit this big dude that's in front of me.
That's not a big dude. That's 10 little dudes. and the ballista, you can't. You don't have all the friends helping you anymore. So remember, that takes 3 actions to fire the ballista. It takes a load, an aim, and a fire.
Okay, so let me just switch over to crossbow.
Okay. You're in melee range, so you'll be at disadvantage using your crossbow.
Oh, so I'm trying to get it. Then I wouldn't be using my crossbow. I'd be using my mace.
All right. Then do that.
Blessed? No, there's no blessed strike, right? Because there's no magic.
That is correct.
Oh God!
hard,
7 more
guys.
points of damage. What the heck happened to all my automation? See, that'll teach me to do updates the day or 2 before we have a game. All right. No problem. I can keep track of hit points just fine. Okay. So with that,
That would be the end of my turn. Then there's not much I can do except smack
It
you.
would. Yeah. All right. So you engage a couple of guys. You're fighting. You land a blow on one of them. Does some.
You could
does
try and
some
move.
harm.
If you want
Oh yeah. Do that.
to.
No, I mean, what's the point? It's battle. We're gonna have to fight this out.
Cool.
If I disengage, it's an attack of an opportunity, right? I can't disengage. I got to stay where I'm at.
All right.
Now, the casting will hurt a lot more until we lower the amount of people.
Well, hopefully you guys are going to have some balls and come over and help me.
I should have crossed, but I don't know what more you can expect from me.
Get in there, Canas. Okay.
I mean, realistically, so if I pull back, I get they get an attack of opportunity, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Bob gets to attack you. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, just let it go. We'll go for where it's at.
Oh,
Chicken.
Jim, you did not. Our familiars aren't on the board, so I don't know if you want us to just do something after our turns, or meaning they aren't on the
Oh yeah. Right.
in.
So it'll be right after your initiative anyway, right? So
Yeah. So can I just have told, just give Ollie the flick, get out of here, and she would go sort of off, this side of here.
okay.
Keep her out
Sounds-
of the way.
Sounds fair to me. I can't move. Help.
I can move her.
Nah, I'm kind of stuck. I'm gonna refresh again.
Good. Stay on your boat.
Stay what?
Said stay on your boat. I think the computer's on our side here.
Could be. I was trying to move the map around so I could get to your familiar, and it just wouldn't move.
Ah.
couldn't even pan the camera around to have a look at anything. All right, so it's reloading. All right, so your Zith, on your turn, we'll say your owl would follow after you, and so you would tell it just to go fly out there and stay out of trouble.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so who's next on the turn chart? I can't see it at the exact moment.
Oh no.
Zamara. It looks like Zamara.
Yeah.
I see that on the thing above there. Okay, so Zamara, I think she would probably take flight to on a rope. So she's gonna like grab a rope on the mast and launch herself into the air and across to the other side, where I think she's probably going to try to soar across to the other ship, where then she can engage maybe Gallus Windrage, or at least head that way. So I'm loading back up right now. Next turn. Zamara. Okay, so Zamara is going to kind of run toward this mast over here, and some sandbaggers are going to fall from up in the air, and it's going to launch her up into the air, and she's going to fly over on this side over here. So I think with that, I'm going to do an acrobatics check and see how she does with that. Acrobatics. She is pretty skilled with acrobatics. She rolls a nat 20. So I think she can land and maybe get some more movement. So I think she's probably going to fly over there and then hide behind the big capstan that's up there for the anchor. All right, I think that'll be it for her. All right, so end turn. And that takes us to Ezra.
Cool. Did we say the magic field is down?
It is currently still active.
It's still active. Okay.
No one's asked for it to be taken down yet.
Okay. Look at my. Okay. I am going to move forward a bit. These are steps, correct? Going down.
Yes. Yeah. You can just walk down those steps, no problem.
Okay. All right, I'm close enough now. I'm gonna go after this mob with my crossbow.
Nice.
Why was they disadvantage again?
It says they were at disadvantage.
Oh,
yeah.
he was
You
at
were
disadvantage.
because of the range, probably.
Of the crossbow? Oh. Right. Right.
Range.
Crossbow.
But I was within. It's
That's
not
my
65
guess.
feet, but I was in 65 feet away, but it's 80 to 320.
Oh. Made no sense. But what was your other thing? Yeah.
I don't know.
Either way you hit, and it's not a crit,
Yeah.
so that's okay.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that is weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I was
Mhm.
confused. But okay. That would be it for me.
And you did 2 damage.
And then Tiger too.
Woohoo. All right. The captain calls out, hold the fireworks, or hold the signal. And then he's like, boarders are coming, brace. And so these guys are fighting, but the other 2 sets of borders, our sets of drow mobs are kind of holding on. So he isn't going to do anything except that's it. That's all he's going to do. So he's holding his action, and the officers now get to go. So these officers, they're going to run up and join the fray. So they're going to go like,
go get him, boys.
Here.
He said we give him a little slap on the butt. Get in there.
Yeah. And so that ends their turn. All right, these guys, they're gonna like throw some hooks and whatnot, and gonna make their way across to the other ship. So they're gonna be jumping across. Oh, I'm still in distance mode. There we go. There's a couple of things that got out of whack when I did the last update. So, all right, so they jump across over here, and they're gonna go ahead and attack this mob of cultists. So let's grab that. And got short swords. Get the hit points right real quick. All right, so we've got 10 short swords worth of attacks to go on there. And so they're going to do 37 points. They take out several cultists. I like how that big sword swings down on those guys. So they take out 3, almost 4 cultists in that one shot. So that works out good. Then that ends their turn. All right. So Twinkle is going to move through the ocean. Crew there is waiting to drop the field, and they're going to take some shots at Throat Cutter. So they shoot. So they tack left and then back right again. They can do 90 degrees. So they turn 45 to the left, 45 to the right, and get their ballistas to fire. And they probably make a couple of shots. Successful hits against Throat Cutter. They're trying to disable the sails on that ship. Throat Cutter's sails are going to take another bunch of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they're done. All right, the first boarding party of Berserkers is ready to jump onto the ship. So they jump over here and they attack. You can tell these guys are just got blood in their eye. They have bloodlust massively. And so they move right on top of this drow crew. And the first thing that they're going to do that is a little disconcerting is they're going to attack with complete recklessness. So that's the first thing that shows up. Second is they're going to make 5 great axe attacks. This is a group of 5 berserkers. Oh, but it looks like the drow. Oh, I didn't target. Crap. The drow are too well prepared. They have a 15 armor class, and this guy's only attacked. Oh, but it didn't do with advantage, so I'm going to roll that again. This time I'm going to target these guys. Okay, and so we're going to try that again. We're going to try 5 great axe attacks and see if this is better than... Yep, that is better. So that's going to hit. And so they're going to do 24 points of damage. Whoops. And of course, I didn't boost those hit points first. Okay. I'm 0 for 2. All right, so... they take out a couple of drow with that. They just take those sailors right out. All right, and then I It'll just take forever. Okay, so the Berserkers are now at disadvantage. So they'll be easier to hit. These cultists are going to attack back against the drow that boarded. And so they've got 7 scimitar attacks to make. And they're going to hit the drow, and they're going to do 12 points to the drow. So not a big problem. There's still lots of drow. All right, so they don't even take one guy down. Next attack. All right. Where the heck are we? It's Thunder Cutter, Throat Cutter's attack. Throat Cutter is going to try to do a mangonel shot. Nice. Okay. So that's broke too. Good job, guys. When I do updates, I need to like go through and test everything. Good freaking grief. Breaks all kinds of stuff. All right. So with that, Throat Cutter's going to have a mangonel shot back. I think I'm going to roll a d20 because they've been targeting that crystal. And so with a good enough shot, that's going to hit the crystal. So mangonel.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
Well, goodbye, anti-magic field. It was nice to know you.
Okay, that's not too bad. So, all right. So at this point, the captain is worried about losing the crystal altogether, and so he is going to drop the crystal down now. So with that, with it getting hit again with a big, like cannonball, basically, it's cracked the crystal again. So he drops it under the deck, and the anti-magic field goes down. And just as it does, this other set of berserkers jumps onto the ship. And this group's right here. So this is supposed to be 130, and this is 24. All right, I got it. All right, so this second group of berserkers jumps across. They also attack with reckless abandon. And they are going to, first and foremost, let me do that, and then I will target these first group that got wiped last time. So again, great axes clash with short swords, and let's see how that pans out. These guys have got 5 great axes. And even though they are outnumbered 2-1, they actually lay right into those drow and do 23 points of damage to them. So again, a couple more of those sailors fall under those great axes as these guys begin foaming at the mouth. All right. And now, at the end of this turn, the slowest thing moving is going to move. Go back to tokens. We'll shift all those over. All right. All right, and that's where everybody was before. All right, end of the round. Here we go. Moving on to the next round, we begin with Zith. Mr. Zith, you are muted, maybe? Yeah, you're muted.
Sorry.
No problem.
I have to check a couple things here. Damn. And these are our guys right here.
They all look like drow. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I am worried about her. All right. So how far is she away from me? How far is my buddy? Okay. Given what I know, would I think that the crystal is going to come back up or not?
I don't know.
Or would I not know?
Yes, I don't think there's any way for you to know, other than you know that you feel a huge relief of pressure on the weave. So,
yep. Okay. I'm gonna move. I might get here. Right there. There's probably some like. Is this something I can hide behind? This right here.
No, that's actually like a thing that goes down to the hold below. It's like a grate.
Okay.
You know those grates?
Yeah.
So that air can go down there.
Is this something to hide behind? This thing right here?
That's a mast. So yeah, you could absolutely break contact with that.
Okay. It would get me right about there. Yeah, okay. All right. So so this can move right here. Right there, actually. Okay. And I am going to roll with yeah, let's fucking do it, right? All right. Just need to make sure that I'm within range. Am I within range? Oh shit balls. Come on. All right. So Zith is gonna point at what is her name? His name?
Gallus?
Dallas. And Zith is gonna point at her and cast polymorph. And he's gonna foresee that she does fail her save with a 3, assuming that fails.
Okay.
And how long would a fish be alive on deck for? Like 2 minutes? 3 minutes?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. I would turn her into a goldfish. And really hope that this magic field is down and I've done my job. I would yell at the captain, keep that shield down. And the sorceress is out of the game. And by the way, what the hell does Dritz do? And that would be the end of my turn. Oh, and for my bonus action, I would hide behind this mast. I'll do that roll if you'd like. A little stealth roll. Should be okay.
So what you're
25.
saying is Gallus Windrage is now going to play coy.
In a
Aw.
word, yes.
Yeah. Okay. COI, right?
KOI, yeah. And that's it.
Is it spelled with a
That
K?
is-
Okay.
I think koi is a K. Yep.
Fair enough.
I think I could
Fish,
be
yeah,
wrong.
KOY.
And that's me.
All right. Wow.
And Ollie would be doing nothing, probably going towards me. That's it. Like staying out of range, and that's it. That is her turn. Goldfish Gallus Windrage. I love it.
All right. Clever.
Burn that. I need to burn that spell.
Okay. So the goldfish flops across the deck as best she can, which isn't very good. Okay. We let her move 1/4 of a square. All right. Allie's moved. Allie is picked right up on some food. Canas, you are up, sir. To be followed
Okay,
by.
first of all,
Go ahead.
I would let's tell Anea. Anea, you know the plan. Hide and stay within 100 feet of me.
Where is Anea? There she is. Okay, hold on a second. Canas, you
I mean,
are 18.
I mean, I know she. I mean, the anti-magic field's gone, so we telepathically, right?
Yeah.
The anti-magic
Sounds-
field's gone. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just told go with
Okay.
the normal plan. She hides and make sure I have my extra healing factor.
Okay.
So since the most deadly foe has been taken out of combat for the moment, I'm going 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet. I think that's 30 feet or close enough. And I'm going to attack this dude. I feel Calamos, it's as the anti-magic field goes down,
Oh yeah.
light up a familiar buzz of magic in my hand.
For sure. Now make sure. Yeah. So. All right. So you've taken out a few more. There are three out of that group left. Uh-oh. Oh, there's 2 guys out of that group left.
You know what? I think. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
There is 1 guy left, and he's hurt. You just went through and just kind of mowed the lawn. You just like jumped right into action. Ozus,
There's a
he's right
reason the
next to you, and
crossbow-
you're just like getting sprayed with blood as he's just going through this crew. There's like what?
There's a reason that
There were 7 guys, and now there's 1.
hey, there's a reason the crossbow isn't my specialty.
No,
I'm much
yeah,
better with 2 swords.
Indeed. All right.
And that I my
Wow.
turn.
That was a bit of a turn there.
Yeah. I just sad I couldn't take out that last dude.
All right. Well, So these guys, they want to go take on those berserkers, but they're not. They really can't get there, so they're going to go across here, and they're going to jump across, and then they're going to engage these guys. So they just like charge right at these guys.
I'd scream at him like, "Don't touch the fish!"
Oh, I was thinking about it.
She's
Like we
mine.
should just go step on them. Oops. All right. So these guys, I need to drop the short swords on them. All right. So these guys are going to take out. They're going to attack. All right, so they take out 3 of those guys right away, and wound a 4th worth. So yeah, all right, good. That ends their turn. Oh, they had the same. All right, so Anea flies up and kind of hangs out on the top of this mast.
Okay.
All right, so this cultist that's left is going to try to attack you back. He's, you know, he's a fanatic. He doesn't have any common sense. But as is obvious, he's, you know, a Talos cultist. So. He's going for it. Canas, he rolls a 19. Is that going to hit you?
It would, except one thing.
Yeah, you have magic
Cloud
now,
rune.
so what's that going to be? Cloud rune.
So I'm gonna go for the cultists that are fighting the drought on top of them. The upper Talos cultist mob.
Straight up from that other mob.
Yeah, right here. This dude.
Okay.
So how many points does he use to hurt his allies?
He can do 6 points of damage, so he's going to do. I think that it did 6 points to you, Canas. You want to take those back? I don't have an undo like I used to, so I'm going to do 6 points to the folks on the other ship, which is enough to take out another guy. So the one dude stabs at you, and you go, and this cloud, this little hole in space appears, and his sword goes right through it and into the guy on the other ship. It goes, and he falls over.
I am just a monster to these people, and they deserve it for what they've done. How many books have you burned? How much water damage have you caused to libraries across the coast?
For sure. Okay. So, yeah. And then he looks and like that was futile. And moving on to these drow who are getting double teamed by, so they're going to move over. And they're mostly going to focus on this group here. And I need to add this. The captain yells out in drow what it sounds like a singular word. And the statue of Dritz de Werden begins to move.
What's it made out of?
It is made out of stone.
Okay.
Like obsidian stone, like really dark black stone.
Okay.
The stupid grin on its face is still there, though. But meanwhile, these guys are going to go ahead and attack. They have 83 hit points. So they're targeting these guys. And so, they get to do twice. So no. Okay. 27. So we're going to put 27 hit points back. All right. So these drow smack up these guys pretty good. And 29. All right, so they're engaging, they're fighting back and forth, and so that is going on. Ozus, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I'll smack the guy in front of me.
How come you don't have a thing around your character?
I don't know.
It's weird. Oh, because this guy is not in combat. You're at 16.
Another 7.
Okay, you kill the last guy. Boom, he's dead. So that whole thing just goes down just like you like. All right, so you're at 17. So I'm going to delete this Ozus, remove combatant. And we're going to put this Ozus at 17. So hold on. Things are just getting shuffled around a bit because Ozus. All right. So there you are. I got the little blue circle around you like you're supposed to so we can find you, etc.
I was thinking about running and jumping to here.
Okay. Could probably do that.
Athletics.
No, the ships are like basically next to each other, so you can totally
Okay.
make that distance, no problem. Go ahead.
Yeah, about right there.
Okay, perfectly fine. Your
And
dog.
I call Sparky.
Okay.
I'll help it keep this right behind me. Yeah. And that'll end my turn.
All right, very good. So it's up to these drow now. They're going to. I thought they moved already. What the heck? Guess I had them confused with a different set of drow. All right. Oh yeah. All right. So I'm gonna flip flop these two drow for this turn. All right. So these guys are gonna target those guys, and these guys are gonna fire. Oh. Still hits them. 30 points of damage. They drop 3 guys. As they're just fighting through. 3 more guys of that 10 fall down. And we move on. All right, so the cultists then are going to try to attack back. They only have 3 guys left. So that's 3 scimitar. And so I'm going to just roll with 3. That looks like that's going to hit the drow back. And it's going to do 10 points of damage to the drow. No big deal. So there isn't even one drow on there that's fallen yet. So that's cool. And moving on to the next one, Zamara. Zamara is, she did some swinging. She's going to
Touch the fish.
Protect the fish.
She kind of puts her boot in the way of the fish being able to
Oh, good. Okay, she can do that.
get off the ship. She just kind of kicks it back a little, scoots it back.
She can take a. She can take a pot shot still, right? Doesn't she have a? Does she even have a bow?
She doesn't do ranged. No,
Balls. Okay.
she's a milieu person.
Okay.
All right,
Get her in the
so-
milieu.
Had God
Well,
had the gods
She could
intended.
certainly step on the fish.
No.
She
Just
could
push the
poke it
fish
with
into
a
the middle of
sword.
the deck and run into melee, please. We need you.
All right, so it's now time for the statue. So
Let's see
the
what you can do.
The statue is grinning out of its mouth, and the captain goes, you know, and points at the berserkers, and suddenly this huge geyser of water comes flying out of its mouth at these berserkers. And so they're going to need to make a saving throw. So I'm going to just do that real quick. Let's see. I think it is a dexterity or strength. Hold on a sec while I look that up. So this geyser of water shoots out and just blasts these guys like a big fire hose. And so with this geyser, statue. Right here. All right. So this magic statue causes 30 feet of the statue, stream of water out of its mouth, 30 feet, as a decanter of endless water. So it was nice of them to force having to look at it. Okay, so the geyser that it produces, 30 feet with 1 foot wide, and it's a DC 13 strength check. So let's see how this mob does with a DC 13 strength saving throw. Oh, they make DC 13 exactly. All right, so it blasts these guys, but they fend it off. And they don't slide off the ship. All right. So that ends statue's turn. Ezra, you're up. What are you going to do?
I want to beat up on these cultist mob guys. Let's see. We're going to upscale a guiding bolt.
Ooh, nice special effects.
I don't understand why
Why
it
would
keeps
this is
coming up at disadvantage.
Are you too close?
No. No, I'm like 75 feet away from these guys.
Are you holding the control key while you're doing it by any chance?
I am not.
Okay, so guiding bolt has a range of 120 feet, so there's no disadvantage to that anyway. Maybe you're seasick. That could be it. You're a dwarf. That's entirely possible. It's a good question. I don't understand either. So I would say that the 18 would hit. So I can't think of why you're at disadvantage. So you can go ahead and hit them with guiding bolt. So just roll it again. Let me see. Let me see if when I roll it, what happens. And if I target those guys, maybe you didn't target them, but
No, they're targeted.
Guiding bolt. Let me roll. First level. Is
No,
that
I
right?
put it at third level. I upcasted it.
Okay, let me go to third level. But it's not going to consume slots. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's still a disadvantage. So what's wrong with that you're casting at disadvantage? So, all right. So guiding bolt, I'm going to not consume slots, cast third level, go. Wow. I told it to attack with advantage. And, all right, so the way I see it is you did 25 points of damage. So I'm just going to mark it down 25. Even if you were at disadvantage, you have advantage on them. It's ridiculous. Because they are reckless. So
Sure, whatever you say.
do 25. So, yeah. So anyway, I've knocked him down
Okay.
by the damage of your spell. So you should be good. Anything else you want to do? You want to move or do anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna move forward as well. Is this a boat?
It's a
Hanging by a
grating. It has
window.
a boat sitting on top of it. Yeah,
Okay.
like a little rowboat.
Would I be able to like take cover?
Sure.
Or is that do you want me to do a
No, you can just take
Some sort
cover
of
without
check.
being hidden. No, you don't need that.
Okay.
You can just
Okay, yeah, I'll just take
position
cover
yourself
then.
there.
Yep.
Okay. Yep, that's all it takes. All right.
Okay.
So with that, it's time again for the wizard. So the wizard is now going to cast a badass spell of some sort. I don't know what. Let's see. We've got lightning. We've got. Oh, that would be good. Oh, that would be good. Right. I think that might be good. All right. So let's see.
Harkening back to our time spent together, me and Zalti. That's Zalti, right?
Yeah.
I would say. So finally, I get to see what you got, Zalti. Because we were just like trading parlor tricks in his thing, and it was unclear how good he was.
All right. Well, now you're going to find out because here comes a spell. Oh,
Chris Premades, your automation's out of date, bro.
go figure. All right, here it comes. Yeah, there's
Do it.
issues. All right. We're going to do all of that.
Main tower
Yep. All of those things.
Cloud
Oh,
kill.
whoa.
Yeah, I would be very impressed. As if it'd be like, okay, Zalti. Trying not to get our guys.
All right, so I have to put it here. Not going to get the drow. All right, so that's fine. All right, so he casts this and enters the spell's area for the first time. $5d8 poison damage. Constitution saving throw. Okay. So this guy has to make a Constitution saving throw and then 5d8. Uh-oh. Makes a saving throw, so he'll take half of 5d8. So 26, 13. All right. That's not gonna really. There's a few coughs and gags, but that's about it. Okay, lightning would have been better. All right, so that'll end Zalti's turn, and icing death. Okay, these guys. These guys are gonna move right up on these guys. Boom. And they have gonna target these berserkers. They have this. They can attack at advantage.
There we go. Oh, savage.
So there's 67 points of damage. So they just wail into them, and they actually get to do that again. So we're going to do that one more time. Whoops. Wrong. They attack themselves. These guys are supposed to do this again. 62 more points of damage. So these guys, you notice that these guys, when they pull their swords out, that they are using, there's something on their blades that has a bit of a tint to it. Zith, you recognize that as poison. These guys are using poisoned blades.
Love it.
They are making mincemeat out of these berserkers are just falling left and right. There's actually one left out of the 5. They dropped 4 of them. Now, granted, there are 5 of those guys, but they went in after those 5, and there's only 1 left. All right, so this next drow crew is going to target these cultists that are next to them. So, and I think they're going to hit them. And they're going to take out 3 guys in that shot. Those guys are done. Okay. Twinkle does some more damage to the sails of the other ship. Okay. And now this one berserker is going to just again attack with advantage on the officers. He's just going to go nuts. And so with his attack, he has a single great axe, but he's going to get advantage. And he misses. So they're just fine. All right, that ends his turn. I think we're starting to pick up the pace now. We're getting the hang of this. All right. So these cultists are going to attack back. They have 20 hit points. That's 2 cultists. So 2 scimitar attacks. And they fumble it. They're really intimidated by these drow. This isn't what they signed up for. Talos is not helping. Their leader's a fish. And things are not going well. So they're not doing great. All right. Throat Cutter is unable to move. They're shifting over to oars. These berserkers are now going to attack these guys. It's already set. These guys have full berserker ability. They're going to attack with reckless as well. So they're going to get to attack with advantage. They're going after these drow. All right. So they're going to do 20 points of damage to these drow, and that's going to take out another one of them drops. So now there's actually 2 drops. So they have basically 6 left out of their 10. All right. So that ends those berserkers' turn. They're at disadvantage or advantage to attack them, and that ends the turn. We're back to Zith. Zith.
Oh boy. Okay. Am I on mute? I'm not on mute. Okay. Okay. For some reason, I thought I had the bag of holding, but I think actually,
Canas has one.
Canas does.
We have
Do
2.
you have 2?
There
Do we
are
have
2
2?
total. There are 2 total.
So I don't have it in my inventory. I thought I had one. Is that just? I looked in everybody else's.
I
and
think you
saw
bought
in-
one. I think you bought one.
I had the first
Okay, this is
one
that-
Yeah.
that we got. Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not in my
This is
inventory,
bag
but
holding still at the skull.
I'm gonna assume that
Okay.
and the wood and the what?
You have your bag of holding the one with the skull in it, so yeah.
Yeah. I have the one with the skull. That's exactly right. That's exactly where I'm going with this. Okay. Zith would run over to
The fish.
where the fish is.
Yep.
This is gonna be fun. And I don't know object interaction. I'm gonna grab the fish, probably a little slippery, right? I'm gonna throw it in the bag of holding with the skull.
Oh, it won't live in there.
I know.
Okay.
Exactly right. It will not live in there. It will suffocate
Nope.
twice.
No, unless the skull does something about it.
That's exactly right. I hope the skull eats it. But fish in the bag. I don't know if that uses my action. I definitely use my bonus action. That is your call.
Okay, that would be your whole. That could be your whole turn right there.
Yep. Okay.
Messing around with that. All right. Cool deal.
Oh, yeah. Ollie's back. Ollie can be back in the game now. She can't. She needs 60. Can your familiar dash? I actually don't even know. Or can they just move their distance? Do you guys know?
They can dash.
Yeah.
They get a
can
movement
dash.
and an action.
Yeah. He's I don't know. I don't know how to do the height control, Jim. But he would I don't think I can do everything I want to do. So he'd be there. He end this turn there. He'd be about 30 feet up, sort of perched in one of the rope, the crossbars out there.
Yep.
And that would
Okay.
be his turn.
Hanging out in the sail. All right, Canas.
Yeah, I can't really get to the other ship, so I'm gonna go help our fellow or Drow's friends.
You
with the
can
Berserkers.
certainly get over to that other ship if you want to. But you
yeah,
can
that
fight the
would-
Berserkers if you want.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I ask, just for kicks, you should go right here. That'd be so fun.
No, that's a stupid move.
It's so fun though.
Oh,
Now you have advantage, so
oh, nice. What did I roll? Okay, I'll roll again just for advantage sake. So.
Oh,
Okay, so that one hit for 20 hit points worth of damage. Okay, and we're going to...
your best roll was 15, which rolled 18 points. So I'm gonna take 20 back off of these guys. Because it automatically applies the hit points, so I gotta undo it this way. Alright.
Okay.
So you did your 18 points of damage, and now what?
Yeah, that was one attack.
Yep.
Now for attack number 2. I'm a fighter, baby. Also, how do I still get advantage?
Yep. So roll it.
Okay, well,
If you hold down the Alt key, that will
yeah.
that'll roll with advantage. When you click the dice button, if you're holding Alt when you do it, that's advantage, and Control is disadvantage.
okay. So alt is advantage, right?
Yeah.
I just want to see if I get an actual 20.
Okay. So now I gotta undo.
Sorry.
That's okay. Oh, look at that! It gave me the ability to undo it. It's the first time.
Okay. So I'm going to see alt.
I like those
And my
berserkers, by
final-
the way. That little AI image is pretty cool. These guys are. They look worse than they really are, but yeah.
How's this group of berserkers doing? And you know what? For that last attack, I'm gonna roll fire ring.
Okay.
So another 5 points of radiant damage. And oh hey, they failed their strength saving throw.
Yep.
I was not expecting that.
All right. So these guys are also restrained.
Yes, and are going to take damage at the beginning of their turn.
Ugh, I'm gonna get hit.
All right. So these drow are going to. I've already targeted them. They're at full complement, but I don't think they're going to hit. They hit for 30 points of damage, taking out the rest of that group. And that ends their turn. All right, so Anea seems to be doing pretty good. She's fine. No reason to do anything else. Moving on.
She's doing her job perfectly.
Yeah. All right, Ozus. There are some cultists on the other side of all those drow who are...
Oh, so they got rid of...
They're kind of pirate boots stomping on the cultists right now.
So this is the only... Right there is the only one left, right?
Yeah, there's some berserkers on the other ship. But yeah.
I mean, that I can reach, that...
Mm-hmm.
Except for this one up here. Who's oh, that's Zith. Zith keeps...
It's a very excitable fellow.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's making plans.
I don't know.
Wait,
I mean,
what am I doing?
It says you cast Mind Sliver.
yeah, you can.
What am
I
doing?
literally like hovered over it to see what it was, and it just cast it. I didn't press anything. Sorry.
And I don't know what's going on in here, right? Is that Zith?
Going on where?
The big green circle.
Oh, that's a cloud kill spell.
Okay.
I had to move it so that I could apply some more damage.
Well, you know what? How do I... Okay, there's the Berserker now.
So that's 20 more points of damage to the berserkers. That's what I was trying to get.
This
All right.
looks like are the last one standing. Does this go below deck?
All the crews were above deck.
Right, but does this
So
go
yeah,
below...
you could go below deck if you wanted to.
Yeah, let's do that while all the fighting's going on.
Start checking out the accommodations.
Yeah, because I mean, by the time I get over here, I mean, I can't. This.
That's stairs that go down.
Yeah, and I was just getting way into fighting here. So
Yeah.
this stair goes up, correct?
Yep, it goes up to the front of the ship. The bow
Oh
of the
wait,
ship.
what about the other ship? We're just fighting. Where's the other ship?
What other ship? What are you talking about?
I thought there was another ship.
There is, but it's too far away. It's like
Okay.
100 feet away, maybe more. A couple hundred feet away.
Well, if I originally,
And it's having a hard time moving right now.
if they were right there, can I get down the stairs instead of engaging
Sure.
with this?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
do
fine.
that.
Yep. I don't have a place for you to go, so we'll just say you're downstairs while you're on that square, okay?
I can set the boat on fire. That would be interesting. Does anyone object to me doing that?
Oh, a warship
I
is worth
don't-
25,000 gold. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, go downstairs.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're going to make sure there's no other people to kill, and if so, you'll work on that.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
All right. So then this round, this crew is going to go after those berserkers. Target. They are at half, so I'm just going to half all that damage. So Alt, roll. Oop, that would be a crit. So 40 points, so I'll give him back 20.
Let's go, my Drow brothers.
All right. And these guys don't have multi-attack. Huh. So that's enough. All right, so then these guys, they are done. They're about half strength right now, though, so they've only got 5 out of the 10 drow left there. So that'll end their turn. Samara, she's like, okay. So she likes to come in and have that killing blow, right? So
Yeah,
I think
that's
she
her
can
thing.
come
Who
in.
doesn't?
That's her thing. So she's going to target these guys. And she is going to use her +1 rapier at advantage. Oh, double ones. Wow, that's brutal.
Wow.
If that's funny, it still did. Oh, I guess
I've
it
never seen
missed.
that.
It missed. Yeah, 1-1. Well, All right, so Zamara's not. This is what you get, Kurt, for not being here. Just saying. This is what happens.
That was harsh.
That is what happens. All right, the statue is gonna go ahead and shoot those guys. Try to shoot those guys off the boat again. Let's see what happens. So they need to make a strength saving throw. Yeah, they're gonna make it. All right. So again, a geyser of water blasts at those berserkers, and they fight through it just fine. They're getting fire hosed, and they're still making it. All right.
Well, they are berserkers.
Ezra, your turn. It just basically is refreshing. It's like rinsing after brushing your teeth. All the foam is gone from their mouth, and they just have to refoam. So here we go. All right, Ezra, what's your plan?
All right. Good question. Trying to see if there's any spells that are really worth it. I'm just gonna keep hitting with guiding bolt, I guess.
You could toll the dead. Like, so Jim, if he tolls the dead, you do 1 roll for the whole group for their save.
But the damage will just apply to the whole group, not each person individually.
I see. I got it. All right,
They're
fair.
functionally one person that acts as 10. And
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
mechanically they just get weaker the more hit points they take.
Yep.
Hopefully I'm not at disadvantage this time, but let's see.
Yeah, you probably are.
Probably.
No, he's straight.
Oh, look at that. Hey.
But they
But
made
does he
their,
have
they made
but
their
doesn't he have-
saving throw.
Isn't it
Oh
an
no,
attack roll?
That I
What's an
thought
attack
you were.
roll?
No, yeah, I just had it in my head. You were doing Toll of the Dead, but you did
No.
Guiding Bolt
No,
again.
no, I did guiding bolt.
And you're not at disadvantage, and so it just did
And should
five dice
should he be-
damage to it.
Should he be at advantage though? Aren't they the ones in reckless?
Yeah, but I don't really care because he just
Yeah,
killed them.
they're dead.
Oh, he killed them. I see. Okay.
Yeah,
That huge
they're dead.
giant blood.
I'm gonna
splat.
keep taking cover. I think that's gonna be
Okay.
the
Nice
Ah,
move, kid.
right
That's,
play.
Nice.
all that's left is just a big. Someone's gonna have to swab this deck. We just swabbed this deck, and look at the mess you've made. Can't we keep this ship clean for 5 minutes?
Apparently not.
All right, so
I blame the enemy though.
All right, so it's time for the mage to do something new. So I think he's going to move over to. Whoops, wrong tool. Let's move him over to here. He's going to drop Cloud Kill. Oh, did it get rid of the? It got rid of the template too. Nice. All right, and he is just going to let loose with a lightning bolt.
Gosh.
You keep saying lightning bolt, it's always something different.
Yep.
Keep us on our toes.
I am.
Not a bad roll.
But the Berserkers make their saving throw, and so I'm going to give the Drow their thing back, and so they're going to take 13. All right. So these black tentacles start coming up all over the place and wrapping around these Berserkers. They are, let's see, I think they are restrained.
If they fail their
If they
right.
fail. Okay. All right. The creature that starts his turn in this space takes 3d6 bludgeoning damage and has to make another saving throw. All right, cool. So these black tentacles are coming up all around these berserkers trying to cause them some grief. All right.
like it.
All right, so it's time for these guys to see if they can make some quick work out of these guys. So we're going to do advantage on them. All right, so they're going to take 62 points of damage to take out a couple of guys. Well, probably one guy right there. And then we're going to do it again. So I don't know. I kind of think these rules are okay. If I had all of the drow set prepped, it would have done better.
Ooh, it's a lot of dice.
That's a lot of anvils. Okay. So these guys, there are two of them left. So they just are like whacking them as these tentacles are trying to wrap around them. They're just kind of take them down. All right. So these guys are going to go ahead and attack. They have pretty much full strength. Oh, I don't know if that's good enough. Let's see. Probably. Yeah. All right. So 23 points kills the rest of the cultists. All that's left are these berserkers that are fighting onward to death.
All right.
So now it's their turn. They're going to try to take out more of these drow. They're going to be reckless again, because that's what they do. And then they are going to target those guys. And they're going to, let's see, there's 2 of them, so there's going to be 2 great axe attacks. And that'll hit. It's going to do some damage, 15 points. Slashing damage. So the drow are now down to like 4 guys left. All right. All right, Zith, we're back to you again after that big lineup.
Oh, okay. So these guys are down to a few people on our ship. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I think there's
And
2 guys left.
yeah. And Zith will point his finger at them and they're in the tank. And it was like, yeah, Zith will point his finger and said, like, do you like kneel or you shall be killed like all of your friends. And if they don't give me the look I want, I would just simply let a good old fashioned fireball go.
Okay. They don't
I think
even act like they hear you.
Ugh, I didn't want to do this, but no. I think I targeted Berserker. Yep, it's cool. And I would. Where would you steer this ship from? Is it up here?
No.
On the bow here?
I think it's right here.
Back there. Okay. So Zith would use the rest of his movement to get towards there. I'll figure out how long it is, but I think I can end my turn. Ali would. I would just leave her there, and everything seems under control and good. She's perched up there. Good lookout.
Yep.
I'd have her keep eyes on the other one, on the other ship.
Okay.
All
right. Canas. Whoops.
I'm gonna go there and do my thing.
Okay, go do it.
Question: Are these berserkers reckless?
Yeah. So you have advantage. So again, Alt when you click. Yep.
Okay, and last but not least. How many guys did I take out?
There's 1 guy left. You took out a guy.
Darn it. I'll let in my turn.
Okay. All right, so this crew begins to work toward capturing the rest of the ship, getting it under control, that sort of thing, and that's what they're going to do this turn. Anaya's getting a nice view of the whole thing. Ozus, what are you going to do? You're downstairs. You're going through stuff.
I'm gonna go downstairs. Yeah, why not?
So there is a level below this, and then there's another level, and then I think that is the hold. Otherwise, there's one more level that goes to the hold. I think it's the hold, which is cargo stuff. So then there's the level below this is the crew, like all the hammocks and stuff like that for the crew, and then like rowing area and whatnot. So there's some different levels for you to explore. All right. Yeah.
And there's really nothing there, is what we're finding.
No, everyone came up top to fight. You ship to ship. You don't leave anyone napping or cooking food or anything like that. All right. So this group of drow is going to try to get its just desserts on that guy. And so let's see. We're going to do with advantage. Didn't work. So half of this amount of damage. So 32. Yep. All right. So they wipe out that last guy. Ba-dang. And then up goes a cheer. Roar! And they begin
Hear, hear.
singing some drow victory song. And of course, Samara is familiar with it, and she will join in from the other ship as well, as they have completely wiped out. Whoops, let's see if I end combat. There we go. All right. So that ends the fight.
Well, what about the other ship?
It's
Well,
disabled. It's disabled, and
Oh.
from here, under smaller crew, you can take both of these ships and take that ship out. So
Okay.
the question is, I'm like, you could board that ship and take it
Yep.
out. So it's
Yep.
not going to be much of a fight. Because those guys weren't. So this ship was the one with the berserkers and the massive spellcaster. It was a little fishy how she died, but I mean,
Once you go in, you never
Hey.
come out.
hey, when you're talking about damage on that kind of scale, then for sure it's a thing. All right,
I will
so
admit that was fun.
Yeah.
okay, so
That's cool.
I think mass combat worked out okay with a little extra. If I didn't miss the prep and if the automation was working like it should have, it would have been even smoother. But I felt like that went pretty fast and was probably pretty accurate. The drow are not to be messed with. They've
Yeah.
got some nasty attacks. The captain calls out this drow command word again, and the statue just goes back to being a statue. And he's like, all right, so we have captured some ships, and it was no doubt to your credit. So fantastic. All right, so with that, you guys can head back we'll go back to the high seas, and actually we don't even need to be on the map anymore. So you guys are good to go back the rest of the way to Leylon.
With all 4 ships.
Yeah, so it'll take it a bit longer to get, because one ship has to be mended. It got beat up pretty bad, right? Throat cutter.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And so what they tell you is you can have your pick of the 2 ships. Which one would you like?
What's the
And they're all
difference
the
in? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. That's the same thing. They're the same ship technically, right?
Thunderstrike and Throat Cutter for these purposes are identical. They're both warships. So same stats.
One is just damage, and
Thunderstriker
one
then.
and one's not.
Yeah, so the difference is that
Alright.
Thunderstrike was captained and crewed by followers of Talos who were working with ship Rathnor. And the captain of the other ship will confess that their plans were that they were to capture the captains of Icing Death and Twinkle. They didn't know that adventurers were on board, but their mission was to capture Icing Death and Twinkle's captains and ransom them back to the Bane Rays. And that was going to be their leverage to achieve greater ranking in Luskan.
Can we do the same to them? Can we try and
Ransom
hostage
him.
them?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I would leave it up to the. I mean, me personally, not a pirate person. I would leave it up to Zalti and Zamara to figure out like what the right thing to do is. But Zith is not sad about ransom.
Yeah.
He's not sentimental.
Oh yeah, no.
So Jarlaxle Bainray is the head of his little house, his clan, right? And they're called Brigand Earth. And so the Brigand Earth, that's where Icing Death and Twinkle, they're part of the Brigand Earth house. And they are basically the leaders in Luxon right now. So Jarlaxle is one of the head of the Council of Captains. And so they were hoping, that was their plan, was to weaken your ships with a storm that the War Priest summoned, and then when you came out the other side of the storm, attack and capture your ships. Did not go so well. You had some magic flying across the seas, you had fireballs going, things were and this anti-magic field that then came up and prevented all of their attacks. So the War Priest was ready with a complement of powerful stormy spells that would have done some good damage to the ships. And basically, if they could take out those two ships, at least take them out of commission, then they would be easy to board and take out the crew and capture the captains. But you guys were all just a big problem. So you figured it out what's going on, but now you have to finish your trip back to Leylon and complete your mission.
And one last question about the ship before we head
Yeah.
out.
Yep.
So I know we did a lot of damage to one ship. So are we keeping them at full hit points, or are we going to spend money and stuff to repair them?
You're gonna spend money to repair them,
Hey, but I mean, like,
or you
So
sell
they're
them
like,
as
you
is,
wanna-
and you won't get, you'll get maybe 10,000 gold for it or something like that, right? If you're going to sell it. If you want to keep it, rechristen it with your own name, like Stormbreaker or something like that. You could have your own warship and use that.
So is one cheaper to repair than the other? Just,
Yeah, this
Or there's-
probably I would say that Thunderstrike is in better condition. It's mobile for starters. The other one is oars only at this point. So they're going to tie it to either one or both of the ships and tow it while they sail.
Okay, then.
So they
So I
pretty
think-
much took
so I
that
say
ship
we
down.
did- Yeah, so I'd say we take Thunderstriker then.
Yeah, I'm down for that one.
Thunderstrike kind of took more damage in different places because you guys were aiming at different things. But overall, it's still pretty much a fully functional ship with some damage. So you'll have to repair the hull. You'll have to repair, because there's fire damage on the hull. And then the sails took some damage, but they're at like 75%. One of the ballistas is damaged, and one of the mangonels is damaged. But there you go.
So we'd give the pirates, Zalti and crew.
Mhm.
We'd give them the more beat up ship and the other captain to go blackmail back to the other clan.
Yeah, if you like. So
Oh,
they'll
well-
take Throat Cutter. Is that what you're giving them? Throat Cutter. Which
Yeah,
is
whatever
the-
which one is more beat up. Yeah.
that's the one that became immobile. All the sail, the
Yeah.
masts
Yeah,
and
they
sails
can
are
take
broken
the,
on that one.
The shitty ship.
Yeah, they can put it. They can get the tow truck in.
Okay.
I would ask the captain. There could be some leniency if you happen to know the exact whereabouts of one Ularan Mortis. Otherwise, we send you back with Zalti, and whatever he decides to do is.
The
fine
guy
by
doesn't
us.
even know that name. He has no idea who that is.
Okay.
What about
All right, then,
paralyzed
well.
storms?
They've heard of that name because Gallus Windrage was absolutely mentioned her a couple of times. So clearly someone of higher rank in the cult of Talos. But they've never met her.
Okay. No, boys, we got a ship.
I would deeply thank the captains and their crew for fighting so bravely. I mean,
Yeah.
they took
Many-
the bulk of the pain, and hopefully this relationship can bear fruit for years to come.
They lost, 7 or so sailors. Yep, something like that. Between 7 and 10, so almost 25% of the crew. Okay, cool. So you guys,
25%, wow.
they have a crew of 40, and they lost almost 10 sailors. Oh, on one ship. The other ship is fine. So they kind of level up. They kind of level out the two crews, and they sail just fine. So, all right. So you park your ship in deeper waters off the mud flats, and you are ready to head back into Leylon.
With the ship, with just the one ship with us.
Well, yeah, 4 ships that are out. Actually, maybe Icing Death would start to go north with the ship, but effectively, yeah. So Icing Death would probably take the big ship, and Twinkle would follow along with your ship, since you both you can sail, and they would loan you some drow to sail it, but you'd have to hire a crew probably. Wouldn't be able to sail it yourselves.
No.
Not
Order?
yet.
What would a crew cost us?
Well, that's a good question. So you'd have to hire 40 crew members. So oftentimes crews are paid based on like what you expect to make from jobs. So if you're pirates, it's what you expect to plunder. If you're merchants, it's what you expect to do in your trade by moving cargo around, right? And then the crew gets a share.
We could hire the lizard people and go on a cannibalistic run up and down the coast.
There you go. That's Ozus, always thinking ahead. All right, so
movies. I'm sorry.
again, since you're not used to it, you are a few miles off the coast, and across the mudflats, you are greeted. It's dark when you are arriving. The sun is already set, and of course, the town is on fire. And then a warm feeling fills your heart, Ozus, as you realize it's just the Temple of Kasuth.
Yes. Ooh, we could we convert the boat into a restaurant like in Neverwinter?
Yeah, you can do that too.
If we really wanted to, yeah.
So we have the ship, guys. There's a lot we... Oh, we can auction it off. We can have a raffle and just tell everybody Neverwinter we're raffling off the ship, and everyone comes in. Actually, that's not a bad idea. We can let area know that we're going to have a lottery, and you have to come for the next 2 months to buy a ticket. And we'll give the ship away. We'll probably raise more money than what we're actually could sell it for.
And
at the-
idea.
And at the same time, we're bringing business into Leyland, and we're letting everyone know what Leyland is.
Jim, did you say this ship is worth 30,000 gold?
Brand new
Over here?
25. Yeah, brand new 25. Yeah.
Someone's gonna haggle with us. How do you haggle with a pirate? Well, let's get it
We'll
into.
figure out what to do with it later.
Let's get it
I
into.
was gonna say we probably just need to find somebody who can fix it, which is going to take a few days, and while we ponder if we're going to keep it or flip it. Because I don't know if we're ready to commit to a 40-person crew, even though I love the idea of having a ship. Love it.
Zamara
We
wants
need
to start a new.
Yeah, tomorrow would be psyched, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
she'd
yeah.
be
Oh my
like,
God.
I'll captain that ship.
You think we should
You
maybe
better
get like a bunch of find an
I love-
artificer and get him to build a bunch of automatons?
Oh,
That way we won't
I mean,
hire people.
I can now build very small ones. I don't think they'd be useful for what you want, but
Well, let's.
I've
just
learned some stuff.
Figure out what we can do with it. We're not gonna let it go.
you could start a new cable series called This Old Ship.
This old ship.
Yeah.
We're flipping ships.
It's not the way you thought your game would go.
Right.
It's what it's next.
This was not the way it was planned.
Hey, at least we didn't start a restaurant and then completely forget about the plot.
Oh my god, that's too funny.
Well, someone said flip the ship, so I
Yeah.
started thinking, yeah, there you go. We're gonna go and suddenly Ozus, the entrepreneur, is like, we could do ship flipping. Yeah. There we go. We need to dig a trench through the mud flats so that the ships can get in closer. Let's get the
What?
lizard people working on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the lizard.
Oh no. Okay.
You just
Well, there you
Shadow
go.
of Innsmouth, right? Okay, let's get the ship in and get back home.
Get those barnacles off.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so there you go. So you guys have proud owners at this point of a semi-decent shape pirate ship. Congratulations. A warship.
Nice. That was
Wow.
fun. Well, should we go talk to the city council about our meeting with what's his face?
Yeah.
All right. So guess what? I need you guys to make a roll for me. So I'm going to do an epic roll and see if it works. Last time wasn't so good.
Disintegrate.
Dun, dun,
So Ezra, Canas, Ozus, and I'm going to add Zamara. And what we need to do is a persuasion roll.
But not Zith.
Where's Zith? Why aren't you? Oh, yeah, you're on there. No, you're on there.
Okay, so
Okay.
you want me to
All right. Start epic roll.
Yes, persuasion check. Bam.
All right. No one else gets to see this in the studio audience, but it's cool because it's got all their pictures across and
How did I roll zero? I rolled a
'Cause you're
1
a-
and I have a -1. That's
'cause
right.
you're a -1.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
And I
All right.
Yeah.
But hey, that's canceled out my natural 20, which is
And you
which is a plus
critted.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a +1 to charisma.
All right. So
So I
you
think
guys
we cancel each other out.
So you guys take barges or whatever back into Leyland and you meet with the town council. The town council asks for a progress report. How did it go on your mission to persuade Lord Protector Daggle Neverember to send troops.
Zith would step back. Not much to say. I'll let the other guys speak. Zamara seems to be the most charismatic one of us.
Who? Samara?
Zamara, yeah.
Okay. Well, you can speak as Zamara. I'm not going to talk it. I'm not going to have a role play all by myself over here.
All right.
Between NPCs and a currently NPC player character. All
One
right,
of you guys can take it. This is
so
not
you
my
guys.
forte.
No, we can hand wave. Okay.
Yep.
So you guys explained what happened. That you went to Neverwinter. You partied for a couple of days. You had a great time. Made some new friends. Saw some ghosts. And then you took the cruise back home. No, you then did meet with Dagult Neverember, and it turns out that he did actually give you some serious time, and actually paid attention, asked questions. You all had a chance to make your own statements. The captains also spoke on behalf of Leylon and the High Road because it would significantly harm all kinds of trade should Leylon fall and the High Road come under the control of either or both of the cults. And so then Zith gave a heartfelt speech advocating to protect Leylon, also because it is now the somewhat known hiding place of a very powerful relic, and that he has put his life on the line to protect this relic, and he is asking Dagult Neverember to send troops. And so with that, the town council is pleased and hopes to soon hear from Neverwinter, and hopefully something will come of it. All right, so you guys can retire from your town council meeting and head back to your HQ and kind of decide what you want to do while you're waiting to hear what Dagult Neverember has decided to rule as his ruling on this.
I mean, I think first thing we need to do is find some people to work on that ship, and they probably want some money or some, because we don't know if we're going to sell it yet or keep it, but that's probably job one. I don't know what sort of craftsmen we'd find and how much they would be and how much their repairs would be, but I think that's something we got to get into. And I'm sure, I don't want to speak for Oz, but I'm sure he wants to go back and see his church.
Well, I mean, how do you guys feel about the ship? Do you want to let it go, the money, or do you want to?
I kind of want to keep it. Don't know how or when or why we would use it, but I want it.
But can we afford a crew, or should we just leave it uncrewed and vulnerable, frankly, after they fix it up? If we aren't on it, it could easily be swiped.
No, we can have someone. We can port it here, or we can dock it here and have. We can get someone to protect it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's always the idea we hire for a one-time only fee. We hire an artificer of a high enough skill rating to build us a crew.
Or get a wizard for a one-time fee to open a portal through the multiverse to Eberron, where you could bring a bunch of Warforged refugees.
No, Eberron is no. I don't want to go to Eberron.
Sounds like somebody's had a bad time there.
Yeah.
Look, I like the idea of a ship. I like Zamara being part of the crew or part of our crew. because she knows what to do with the ship. I feel much better about keeping it with her here than without. But you know, it is a responsibility. It needs to be crewed. I think it will help in our battle long term. I'm with whatever the group votes for. If you guys would like to keep it, I'm down. I'd love the money, but I do see the advantage of having a ship for sure.
I mean, we definitely are probably going to need it for when next time we go up to the ghost ship.
Yep.
Right.
So you want
I
to keep
think
it and
makes
start.
sense to hold on to it and just kind of store it. Because worst
Yeah.
comes to worst, we don't use it, and then we, sell it later.
Cool. I love it.
Let's find out what's it going to cost us to dock it first.
Like dock it and,
There's
like,
no
fix it up.
cost to dock it because you can't
Weird.
dock it. It's just
They-
anchored offshore.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
that's
anchored.
the problem. That's the problem with securing it. Like, I am worried about somebody just.
Oh, so we
know.
can't dock. We can't dock it in Leyland. It's too big.
You can't get it in there. It's all mud flats.
It's a marsh. Yeah.
So
Oh.
it's like marshland all the way in. Remember that picture that I put up? There's like ships out there, but nothing. It's all mud with little shallow, like 3 foot. I mean, you could walk through that water to the idle island. Well, you've done that before. So that's the fun thing about the marshlands. There, it's just swampy, and so the water is like 3 feet deep. You guys were like running around out there in the water, fighting things not too long ago, right?
Yeah,
Just-
true.
It was only like, I don't know, 6 levels ago, 5 levels ago, you were running around out there in the water.
Well, then the next thing is
If we need to, I could probably find someone back in Neverwinter to store the ship for a while.
well, you grew up there. Do you have any connections or friends or anything?
I mean, Jim, I would imagine I would at least
Sure.
know some people who. Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
probably worked
but-
on when I wasn't
Yeah.
bounty hunting on the docks my entire life.
Yeah, but
Wait,
Sure.
where's Samara from again? Is she from Luskin?
She's from the other side of the continent.
yeah.
She's a
She
far
has no
traveler.
ties to. Got it.
Yeah. So it was a long trip to get over here. And so that's how she got here, was a while ago. And so then she started doing some urban bounty hunting as well, and that's how she first met Canas, who was just kind of trying to get into the biz. And so she worked with him a couple of times and then vanished for some years.
Yeah, we killed a warlock together. It was a whole thing.
Right.
But
All right, so you guys can
Is there-
continue to discuss what you want to do about that ship. For now, I will tell you that about 4 days go by, and there are some bells ringing at the north gate of Leylon, and a horn. And then you hear some other trumpets, and the gates open, and in come mounted cavalry and foot soldiers. About
Oh, wow.
250 foot soldiers coming to town.
We didn't
Oh,
pay.
wow.
A page greets Griselda Copperrot and hands or reads aloud the proclamation of Daggalt Neverender. This is the judgment of the Lord Protector with regards to the call for aid. Aid has been granted in the in the number of 250 foot soldiers and 4 mounted cavalry. There's about 8 or 10, and so the others are going to be riding back, probably. This shall be awarded at the cost of 500 gold from the town coffers to pay for some of the expenses of such soldiery. The Lord Protector will carry the balance. And at that point, then, from among the soldiers, two kind of not super bookish people come forward, but a man and a woman, clearly recognized by Canas as being his two newest warlocks. And they are here to also offer their aid.
I will go up and greet them.
Yep, they greet you as well. Yep.
Alistair, welcome to Leylon.
Well,
The most dangerous thing ever
yeah.
existed.
Seems like one of the most dangerous places. And then the page hands another scroll missive to Griselda Copperrot, who opens it, breaking the seal of the Lord Protector upon it, and reads it over. And you can see that her visage turns quite grim while she's reading it. And she quite heavily steps aside and shows it to Hasyoram, who also looks at it pretty darkly. And then that comes to you guys. They walk over to you and they ask to meet with you in the barracks, at the tower, at the house of Thalavar. And
Okay.
so Has stays behind, begins to tell these soldiers where to go and for orientation, but they can set camp. They can use the certain parts of town that can be set up with tents near the city center, like the little town circle over there, the town square, and in some other areas where they can set up camp. And so the soldiers then begin to take up camp. They begin to organize as they're moving into town to turn this into something of martial law almost in here, just to protect the town. And they begin to organize shifts and all this kind of stuff to bolster the security of the town. These guys meet you at the bottom floor of House Thalavar, and they show you the additional communique from Lord Dagult Neverember, who has expressed dire concern over yet another cult that has reared its ugly skull in Neverwinter, and it is the cult of Vecna.
Oh, fuck.
And that there is something afoot, that the cult members are becoming kind of bold. And though they're still secret, they're still hiding in Neverwinter, it's clear that the cult of Vecna is also making moves within Neverwinter. And that with Leylon being as protected as it is, Dagult Neverember is asking if the Stormbreakers would return and see if they could root out what's going on with this cult of Vecna in Neverwinter.
Oh, we have a ship. We can get there faster now. But if only we had a crew.
If only we had a crew. That sounds like the entry line into a song in the musical, the Stormbreakers.
Stormbreakers, the musical.
That's time to break out in song.
A tale of death, despair, triumph. but in the end, friendship.
And goldfish.
All right. So I will tell you right now that congratulations, you have all advanced to level 12.
What?
Whoa.
Whoa. Ho, 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 ho.
What about the ship?
Okay.
But now you have greater challenges ahead of you with potentially a now third cult. Not not a cult of Merkel. Cult of Vecna.
What would we know about that? I mean, that's amazing that we leveled up. I was not expecting that. What would we know about the cult of Vecna?
Not much.
Not much.
Not much.
Okay.
Well, what? Hold up.
It's rumored that if you have even heard of Vecna, which you would need to make a religion or an arcana check or a history check. Like, I don't even think history would work. Probably arcana or religion. And it would probably be a pretty high DC. So if you want to roll that right now, I will give you some basic stuff. Well, that's not too bad. 19. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. And
I tried.
So,
Oh, we can give some guidance. Hey, I can guide. I can guide
Guide.
someone.
I can take
Cast
you guys.
guidance on you.
So we're rolling history, right?
Yep.
no,
But
not
you-
history.
Arcana or
Yeah.
Or religion. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
religion.
I roll religion just because why not?
All right, you get a +4. I mean, a plus D4. Oh my God, I'm not going to waste my D4 on you. I see, like
Oh,
you're like, yeah, I see your attempts, and I'm just disgusted, and I turn to Ozas.
I'm trying
Or
to
is
look through some
Zamara.
notes, but like, no, I don't think I've heard of this dude. What's a Vecna?
Yeah, you don't even know what that is. I've got a cult. Who is he? Who is this guy that gets his own cult? He's not
I've
any
never
of
heard
the
a god
gods.
called
Yeah, not in any of the pantheon you've ever heard of. So,
Ozas, Zamara.
Well, what are we gonna do with? I mean, we need to store our ship somewhere.
so Zith, what you know is that he is a lich demigod, like an arch lich. That's probably a better term.
Okay. And do I know anything about like how his, like the teachings of his church, or what he might be interested
doesn't-
in?
No,
Yeah.
He just has apparently some devoted followers, but his name appears somewhere. Like he is not from anywhere around here.
Got it. Okay.
He's not part of the Red Wizards, which is where maybe a lot of liches are related to. You know, that's a whole nation run by liches, right? And you know what they say: liches before bitches. So
Wait, what's the cult that has all of the liches? The red what?
the Red Wizards of Thay.
Red wizards.
Yeah. And so they're like Zaz-Yoram, Zaz-Tam. His name is Zaz-Tam. He is like the emperor of Thay or whatever, right? And so he's a lich. So if you've seen the
Got it.
D&D movie, he was actually had a cameo in that movie. So because the Red Wizards had a role in that. So, but no, he is not from around these parts. That's all. There is nothing to know about him aside from some have spoken. It has passed down through you know, arch wizards to arch wizard to, you know, hushed tones that there is that this is among the liches that are the most dangerous to be of known liches. This one is pretty high up there.
And
Like-
Yep. Sorry.
Like maybe at some point he was vying to be God.
Hmm. Right.
Not a god.
God, the god.
He wanted to get rid of polytheism? What a madman is he?
Well,
Who's
when you
with us
kill
right-
them all, then it doesn't really. Then there's no one to worship but him.
Who's with us when we have this? When we read this note?
Just the town council.
In the house of Thalawar.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
that can be closed down and locked down while they discuss this.
So
They're like,
we've told them about, right? I told them about the runestone and binding my soul to it. It's not a secret, right? So I would look gravely at them and say, I truly think this new cult is here because of the growing knowledge of the runestone, and I would appreciate if you made sure that 50 of the soldiers at any given time are in this castle or in this tower with the most at the top and the least at the bottom, keeping an eye out, and as much as you can in this plane of existence, protect the portal. And yeah, I don't know what I would do beyond that.
seems
I don't-
reasonable.
Yeah.
And this, if you want to take a day or two before we head out, I think we should probably make some traps for the ruined stone in the ethereal plane.
I'm listening. How do we do
So
that?
I mentioned, well, we have 2 bags of holding. And we can make some sort of contraption that, when you
Puts
like,
one
set it
together.
off. Yes.
Interesting.
And maybe some, normal death traps. Maybe
So,
like
we have a few things we need to do. We need to secure the ship. We need to get ready to go there. We need to get a crew.
Honestly, I don't know where we can find a crew on such short notice. In Neverwinter, it'd be easy enough, but Leylon?
It's a fishing village. You might be able to find some veteran sailors that have become just fishermen. Otherwise, it may be. You could certainly find a crew in Neverwinter.
Yeah.
And how much would this crew cost if we were not actually, plundering, or
I'll
at
have
least
to run.
now?
I'll have to run some numbers on that because I'm not really sure. But I will tell you that with the 500 gold that Daggalt Neverember demanded for the soldiers, that comes out of the 1,500 gold the town was going to give you. So you get 1,000 gold for completing the trip to Neverwinter and back again as your reward.
Okay. Cool.
So
Seems a
that
little
will
dicey
go
that they would
into.
take it from our number, but okay. Well, I don't
It
know
comes
what
from
we
the
gotta do with
town
it.
coffer, so
Yeah, it comes from them, not from us. We got the guards here, and we did the trip,
if you
and we almost got killed.
they said, well, apparently you weren't convincing enough for him to send the soldiers at his own expense.
Okay. All right. Zith would be very skeptical about how this deal works out, that they have less money. But fair enough. We have a ship. We almost got killed. We got some soldiers here. What have you guys done? Like, what's been happening here? Like, we need all the money we can get. We have a new cult that, like, they aren't sending you up there. They're sending us. Like, how are you taking money out of our pocket? What sort of deal is this?
It's a real simple deal. Griselda grumbles at you. She says, the town has limited funds. We're not like a metropolis of trade and industry. We're a waypoint on the high road, and so the town had 1,500 gold to send on this mission. And apparently, if you had been a little more convincing, perhaps he would have sent and charged us less, like maybe even 250 gold, or maybe no gold at all, in which case we would have gladly given you the full reward. But as it is now, 1,000 of gold. Trust me, half this town could retire as wealthy people on 1,000 gold.
I'm not complaining at all. This is more out of curiosity than anything. What do you have done with those emeralds we gave you?
You gave them emeralds?
Yeah, remember we gave them. We each kept one emerald, and then we gave the extra ones to the town.
Oh, that's right.
Each emerald was. Yeah, this is just Canas. Have you just remembered? We gave them emeralds a while ago. I wonder if they did anything with those.
I don't know if you did give them emeralds. I don't recall.
I do remember that. I forget why, but I do
Yeah.
remember.
No, we just got back from the Dragon's Horde.
Yeah, you're
We had
right.
a bunch of emeralds.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
unless,
thought you gave the town maybe one of them, but I think you guys bought some fancy magic items with your emeralds. Like you cashed in the 1,000 gold each. They were 1,000 gold each, right?
I still got mine.
See?
I
I didn't do
still,
anything with it.
I still have mine too.
Okay. You gave the town one emerald?
Two, I think. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, you've got, there were 4 of you, and you each took an emerald and gave 2 emeralds to, maybe.
Well, I
That's
had
for another group of adventurers to figure out.
worry.
They use those emeralds to try to find new adventurers to hire. Just kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, so you guys can. I think what we'll do is we'll break here from our stream and let you guys work on leveling up and discussing what you're going to do with your stuff, with your treasure, with your ship.
Yeah, we gotta figure out what we're gonna do with the ship.
You've had a successful several scenarios to get where you are, so good job.
Okay.
I'm going to move your Icing, Death, and Twinkle quest to completed. Da, 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 da.
Dun 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 dun.
All right, so good job, guys. And so we will pick it up next week with what you decide to do. I'm assuming at this point that you're going to head to Neverwinter on a 2-pronged mission. 1, to figure out what's going on with this new cult, and number 2, to find a crew for your ship. Okay, so my homework between now and then is to find out how much it's going to cost you.
GM, I need a ruling as I consider what to do with leveling up. So Zith has been right. He picked up some artificer tinkering skills on his last level. He has some basic, he can work a bit with metal and tinkering and stuff. He picked up a shield, which is super great. Wait, did you guys get a +1 shield? I remember hearing on the broadcast, but I don't know if you
got
actually picked one up for me.
Yeah,
Okay,
you got one.
great.
Along with the Clockwork Amulet.
The clock ring. So I need to hold the staff and the shield at the same time, and so in between leveling, I've just been sort of assuming that I can use the shield and hold the staff in the same hand, or tinker a way where they're sort of somewhat, I don't know, connected or detachable or something. I assume, I don't know what your ruling is on that. I assume I need a free hand. I don't know
Any
if you'll let me
spell
keep
that
doing
has
that.
a somatic component requires you to have free hands.
So that's what I'm saying. Are you okay if I'm holding if I have a shield on my forearm and holding a staff in the same hand and have one free hand, or are you not?
No,
okay with
a shield requires a hand. A
Yeah, and
buckler.
then the other hand.
You could attach a buckler to your forearm. That's like
Oh,
a
you-
gladiator shield. It's a very small shield, but
You're
a
saying I
shield
need-
you have to hold on to it.
You're saying spellcasters need 2 hands. I thought you only needed 1.
One hand is enough. So you have to basically drop your shield in order to use
Got
your
it.
free hand.
If I'm holding that staff.
Yeah.
I can't hold the staff and the shield in the same one. Okay, well, so that sort of reduces my options.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. That just made it simple.
So you can shuck the shield, cast your spell, and then use your action to pick up that shield again. You could do that.
Yeah.
Like
Or
it's a
or
it's
do
a-
Warcaster.
it's a thing, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Any other questions for me right now? I'm going to go ahead and stop streaming.
yeah.
Say goodbye to our
Yep. Bye.
audience.
Oh, I thought we were done.
We actually have an audience. Say
We
hello
do?
to Brian at the park. Yeah, Brian at the park stopped by.
Hello,
Hey.
Brian.
And this other guy, what's
I
his
hope you
name?
enjoyed this nonsense.
Rob
I was on for a little bit.
B. Rob B. Whatever, some weirdo. I don't know. All right, all right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream. We'll see you guys next week as we meet again to figure out what the heck these guys are going to do next as level 12 adventurers. So
Wow.
we'll see you then. Take care.